Good day, dear colleagues. I'm glad to present the report of our team, Understanding and Attitude Toward Upcycling, according to the survey of students of various specialties. In our previous work, the attitude of students of the Faculty of Fashion of KNUT to waste management problems was studied. Significant shortcomings in students' trainings were revealed, such as misunderstanding of waste management benefits and the minimal influence of the study programs on improving the situation. However, some questions remain undiscovered. Are the above problems specific to clothing industry training, or are they more general? What reasons are behind these problems? Do the teachers evolve the problems of waste management? This work identifies problems that junior students of various specialties and teachers face in understanding the benefits and prospects of upcycling and those ways to overcome these problems. You see the research participants by specialties and years of study. In total, students of 6 specialties and teachers of the Faculty of Fashion were surveyed by the questionnaire following the combined model of Tradi's theory of interpersonal behavior and Eisen's theory of planned behavior. You can see the specialty, design, technology, and vocational education and training, and pharmacy, psychology, and teachers. The survey results were treated by 3 statistical methods. Spearman's rank correlation method to study the availability of correlations between separate factors. Kruskal-Wallis H test to assess the presence or absence of a statistically significant difference between the indicators of individual groups, if 3 or more groups were compared. Mann-Whitney U test to assess the presence or absence of a statistically significant difference between the indicators of individual groups, if 2 groups were compared. You can see this combined model, and this slide demonstrates you calculated Cronbach's alpha for influencing factors to test the reliability of a scale. There are 9 factors and the upcycling behavior. You can see that Cronbach's alpha is always higher than 0.669 and in most cases exceeds 0.8, which indicates a high level of the model reliability. I'll use this abbreviation for these factors. Next slide demonstrates you bimodal distribution of the upcycling application frequency. The number of observation of upcycling applications, upcycling behavior UB, you can see from scheme, typically displays a bimodal character. The left peak corresponds to a subgroup of upcycling skeptics or pessimists, and the right one to optimists. You see the Spearman rank correlation coefficient with 2 side statistical significance shown as 1 or 2 stars. Our question is whether these factors are related to each other. There is an answer to this question. A table containing Spearman's correlations. Among 45 pairs, weak correlations are observed in 26 cases, while no correlations was in the rest 19 cases. All correlations
were quite weak, exceeding 0.5 only in 3 cases. We have a complex system that ultimately gives us a bimodal distribution of the upcycling frequency indicator. Next, we move on to the question, how do the groups differ? We made a comparison for each factor from the general schema. For each factor, we have a curve. We calculated average indicators for each student group, because it is group by major, and for teachers. At this stage, the Kruskal-Ullis H statistic was used to answer whether there is a difference. Is the null hypothesis true? You see this null hypothesis. The null hypothesis of the Kruskal-Ullis H test is for these factors, SN, P, N, and RB. Factors have identical distributions in separate specialty groups. The null hypothesis accepted for all 3 factors because the significance much higher, 0.05. And for other factors, you see null hypothesis and result. The null hypothesis accepted for 2 factors, but is declined for PB. The factor of perceived benefits, PB, is understood differently in different groups. See this graph. For other factors, you see null hypothesis and our results. The null hypothesis is accepted for these factors, but is declined for attitude. The factor of attitude is understood differently in different groups. And you can see average values of UB indicator by specialties. Distributions of upcycling behavior are independent of students' groups. You see this number. We found that only 2 of the 10 factors showed a difference, between which at this stage we can't yet say. To advance further, we use the Mann-Whitney test. We compared all pairs of groups with each other to find out between which there is this difference. You can see that the Mann-Whitney test allows one to identify which groups demonstrate significantly different levels of PB understanding. Design group demonstrates the highest level of PB understanding and VET the lowest. Allow this axis, you see the changing of PB characteristics, and you can see there are different groups. A significant difference is observed in 5 of the 15 available pairs connected by straight lines in figure. VET's PB differs from 3 other groups, and design's PB from 2 groups. Psychology group demonstrates no difference from other groups. And for attitude, you can see the changing of attitude. The Mann-Whitney test allows one to identify which groups demonstrate significantly different levels of attitude understanding. Design group demonstrates the highest level of attitude understanding, and teachers the lowest. A significant difference is observed in 7 of the 15 available pairs connected by straight lines in figure, and VET's attitude differs from 4 other groups, and design's attitude also from 4 groups. The survey and the analysis of the obtained results allow us to formulate several problems in mastering upcycling technologies that are appropriate to the current level of education in Ukraine. Ensuring an understanding of the benefits and mastery of available upcycling technologies isn't limited to training closet industry specialists, but has a global character. The available advantages in various aspects of the relationship to upcycling remain practically the same for students of different specialities. Teachers show indifference and ignorance in understanding upcycling. Most respondents show a complete lack of understanding of the advantages of using upcycling technologies, although some express a desire to use them. According to respondents, social factors have a very limited influence. How to fix it? You see, overcoming the formulated problems in the training of future engineers is possible due to implementation of the concept of sustainable development, both in the form of developed new educational programs and individual course programs, integration of new modules in various disciplines, in the process of informal education, in particular participation in project activities, trainings, group activity, appropriate professional development of teachers. You can read more about such forms of work with students and changes that we have already been able to implement in the educational programs of KNUTD in the full text of the article. The next slide demonstrates you our total conclusions, and I say you thank you for attention.